What's happening? Look what the cat drug in. What's going down? Riot started TV. We're in the building. I know y'all looking like it's a whole lot of Kalonjis on the scene today, but it really ain't.
Why we gotta be your clone, man? Why we gotta be your clone? But anyway, this is Professor Griff from Serious Minds RNTV. Of course, you know Professor Griff, Public Enemy, the ex-minister, Minister of Information, and I'm here, right here on Riot Started TV, but we collectively call this the Masses. What's good?
And I'm Tonya Davison. I'm the host of the Mental Speak radio show and also administrator with Urban Intellectuals. And just excited to be here this evening.
No doubt, no doubt. Yes, yes. Griff.
Yes, sir.
Since you the youngest of the three of us.
Young buck.
All right.
Yes.
We're on here today because we thought, bringing our collective minds together, we thought we would bring some kind of balance to what we constantly hear, not only in news, but come across our expensive computers that we keep in our pockets and in our hands. This information is kind of congested, kind of confusing. We came together, the three of us, to try to make sense of it all. Not to say that we're 100% correct and you're 100% wrong. We're offering a different kind of perspective from three different individuals, from three different reference points. So let's not get it twisted. What we ask you to do is take away whatever you can take away from it, all right? That's going to help solve the issues. Whatever you can take away from it, that's going to help solve the issues. Do that. Our main focus on here is to arm the masses.
That's right.
To take the information. And you can't say at the end of this, you were not warned, A, and B, you are not armed. Arm the masses so we can deal with the issues that affect us as a people and the human family. Can we do that? All right. All right. So we're going to dive into this first subject we have tonight. We just kind of using this one as a test, but we found it to be a very timely subject. Idea of Kanye West not only wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirt, but everything else leading up to this particular point. So we're going to tackle the mental health aspect of this and what that entails. We're going to talk about the music side of it. We're going to talk about the supposedly genius side of it, the so-called conscious side of it. We're going to tackle the whole idea of selling out at 10% off. Did y'all know that there was a sale going on for Negroes? Selling out at 10% off. All these Negroes that claim they want to kind of attack black people, and you get brownie points from selective few people on the other side, as long as you don't offend the other side. Well, they're having a sale, 10% off all Negroes. So with that said, we're going to dive into this particular subject. So Kalonji, what's your initial take on this White Lives Matter concept? Not only the t-shirt, because the t-shirt ain't never hurt nobody, because they said sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never harm you. That's a damn lie. What do you think, man?
I think that somebody now broke their bone in their head. I think that man Kanye, he's somewhere. I don't quite know where he's at right now, but he's somewhere in the ethers. But I think that the whole White Lives Matter thing, I know a lot of folks got upset about that, but the reality is, Kanye over the past few years, he's been a stickler for controversy. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to market himself, keep himself in the news, good or bad. But I think that the reality is, his I think it's a mind thing, and I'm glad that LT is here with us today because she being a therapist, perhaps she can assist to getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah. One thing that I've done on my platform is, and Professor's been a longtime collaborator with me, is sometimes I think we're too one-dimensional when we see things like this that pop up in the media, but it's so multifaceted, right? Like, how can you analyze something when we got to look at the consciousness that was Kanye? I mean, if we're going to take a look at his lyrics and some quotes that he's made, but can you just look at this as though he put on a White Lives Matter shirt and call it done and he's just insensitive? And now you got, or he's lost, right? He's in the sunken place or the ether, as you're saying. But I think that what we can do today is not only start to look deeper into our own behaviors within the community, but we need to understand, why does this one man become the representation for all of the Black community, through media? Knowing what we know and understanding what we understand about all of this, the industry, the media, and being in the sunken place.
I think when you talk about the whole idea of one-dimensional, I think that speaks to a certain aspect of it, but I think it's even a lot deeper than that. See, when we think about one-dimensional, we don't think about everything above it and below it. We think one-dimensional meaning on a horizontal plane.
Yeah.
But the point I'm driving at is he spoke with his dad, and it's by his own admission. He spoke with his dad before he wore the shirt, and his dad basically said to him, "It's just a Black man wearing a slogan and a T-shirt that states the obvious." Now you're taking this from an elder, your dad,
right?
Somebody that you've actually have learned your life lessons from. Dad was an ex-Black Panther, so when you say one-dimensional, that comes to mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? I heard someone say today Kanye West knows exactly what he's doing by putting Candace Owens in the picture with him, them wearing two different color shirts, and it's a black and white issue. Someone said that might have something to do with black and white magic. I don't know. I didn't look into it that deep. That's where my one-dimensional kind of observation comes into play, simply because I'm looking through the lens of the average person. The average person is not going to look at multifaceted areas and dimensions. They're going to look at it for what it is. It is a white supremacist slogan. It was the answer to Black Lives Matter, and they said White Lives Matter. Some slick Negroes, coons, came along and said all lives matter. And when you start talking about stating the obvious, well, let's state the damn obvious. Black lives never mattered.
That's right.
That's the obvious, not the flip side of it. It wasn't the flip side. It's not the obvious that white lives matter. Okay, well, no one said white lives didn't matter. No one acted like white lives didn't matter. No one constructed systems to let white people know that you don't matter. No one controlled the sports, the education, the economics to let white people know that you don't matter. But they did this to Black people. So when Black lives matter, regardless of what you think of them and how they handle their own finances, right? Black lives didn't matter. They put together something that'll galvanize all of us, not just the Hebrews, not just the Muslims, the 5%ers or the RB, whatever. They used that and galvanized everyone else among us that was left out that needed a voice. So this idea of him speaking to his dad, it really got under my skin, because you're supposed to look to your ex-Black Panther dad for some guidance and some strategy. You went into that, man, and fell for the sucker punch, bro. For real.
I think it was definitely, in retrospect, because I almost forgot about the whole Candace Owen aspect of it, right? I think that the two of these self-hating, confused Negroes, I think that, of course, it is definitely by design, and they know exactly who to go get. And the fact that his first interview was with
Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson over at Fox.
On
That's
Fox,
a telltale sign. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go to any of these quote unquote black journalists. He didn't go to he didn't even go to the Negro journalists who we pretty much don't rock with. He went straight to the source. He said, I'm going to Fox News because he knows that it's going to draw up more controversy. It's going to be more confusion, and folks are going to be running around talking about Kanye crazy and all this other shit. He's clear. I do still say that he has some issues, because clearly if you're willing to put a quote unquote target on your back with your own quote unquote community, then surely, you know, you're not concerned with, you know, with the outcome. You know, as far as his father, I know that he was saying that his father was a veteran Black Panther, whatever. You know, that's irrelevant at this stage in the game, because there's so many folks that we call movement dropouts, and I don't respect movement dropouts. There's so many folks that talk about what they used to do. Back in the 60s, I used to do such and such. What you doing now? Oh, I just, you know, I work at the hotel, and I work for white folks. You know, back in the day, we marched on such and such. What you doing now? Oh, I'm in the Senate right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm moving, and I'm trying to promote this false sense of democracy. We knew that this dude was insane going back to the whole Trump shit. You know, but we have to ask ourselves, what is the penalty, you know, for Black folks or for Africans who decide that they're going to betray their entire their people, for lack of better words. And I think that,
right.
Yeah, no. And I was just going to sum it up by saying the penalty shouldn't be violence, but the penalty should be us refusing to play his shit and refusing to even acknowledge him. If you want to act crazy and act like you lost your mind with these white folks, then do your thing, because of the fact that when they're done with you, they're going to kill you off, and your catalog is going to be worth more with you dead than you are alive. And I think that's the next step, and that's what they're inching towards.
Real quick, Amos Wilson said, if we don't control the punishment and the reward, we'll always have these kind of Negroes on a carousel. And when one fall off, another one, 2-3 gonna jump on, because they want to get their head rubbed and their back scratched and rubbed and patted on the head by this oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? What was you gonna say, LT?
I think the struggle for me is that I can't learn about the industry and the shaking of hands and the initiations of the entertainment industry, knowing, and Professor, this is something that you teach on quite a bit, that you introduce me on my platform to the Brotherhood of the Bell. So if you guys haven't seen Brotherhood of the Bell, you can find it on YouTube. I have watched it on repeat. But understanding when someone has been initiated into an organization, in this case, it would be the entertainment industry, and knowing that that person is now at the behest of whomever is his Svengali, right? Whoever his handlers are. And so then I ask the question, when we know people have gone into the industry, been initiated, he seems at moments to be going rogue, right? It looks like somebody going rogue, but still following the script to the degree that they stay as safe as they can so that they stay alive. That's what I'm seeing on that deeper level. But, you know, we'll look at the conspiracy theories, but then we ignore it when the person's out on the stage. When they're out acting out the script, we think it's just them acting of their own volition. And that's where I struggle. Because I don't think he's doing this. He doesn't have that kind of freedom to do this.
Mentally, you're talking about? Because his mental capability, it seems like it, according to him and according to a few million people, they think he's a genius. I just don't think so. If you define genius according to a dictionary that they wrote about themselves, then yeah, you'll come up with that definition every single time. But
you want me to give you the clinical? I can give you the clinical. The clinical for me, most of the people that I work with who have any kind of, you know, especially when he's bipolar, he's diagnosed bipolar.
Right.
tend to have faculties that are out of the box. We know without a doubt this dude is out of the box. We all agree, right? I don't know if you guys saw his documentary, but the dude he's brilliant when it comes to putting together beats and the way his mind works. And I do see a person who was broken down, definitely. But
Okay.
again, is he having to work within the confines of what his handlers want him to do and going rogue or
Well,
trying to stay alive? That's where I'm at.
well, the thing is, when you say going rogue, I mean, we hear stories all the time about the lion in the circus bugging out and attacking attacking the handlers. You know what I'm saying? You hear about the dolphins, they're jumping around, then all of a sudden they decide that they're going to snap on somebody. The pit bull that you bring to the poodle show, to the dog show. I mean, that's just what comes with it because of the fact that it's an unnatural situation, right?
Yes.
When we talk about capitalism, we must understand that capitalism is a rogue system. Capitalism is a violent system. Capitalism is a pimp hoe system. So in order for you to thrive in a capitalist society, you have to own the production, you have to own the means, you have to own the distribution. And Kanye and no other black billionaire in the United States or abroad will ever own the distribution or the means or the production. I mean, I was talking the other day to some folks. When you look at the quote unquote the quote unquote billionaires in the United States, you have folks like Elon Musk and you have Jeff Bezos. These are folks who are walking around with $250 billion, worth $250 billion. Then you have who's that? Robert Smith. I think he's the quote unquote wealthiest black billionaire in America, in the United States, and he's at about $6.7 billion, right? In the grand scheme of things, black billionaires are impoverished compared to white billionaires.
That's pocket change, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And if the white billionaires who are at the top of the game, if they had the amount of money that these guys had, they'd kill themselves because they'd be considered broke. However, they keep the Jay-Z's around, they keep the Oprahs around, they keep the Rihanna's around, they keep the Dr. Dre's and the Kanye's and so on and so forth because they earn for them. You understand what I'm saying? Because these guys still, they don't control their distribution. They're still signed to somebody. And like I was saying earlier, what I was alluding to, the path that Kanye's on right now, you can say that, folks would say, you're a genius because of your musical talent and ability. But to me, a genius might be someone like Prince. You know what I'm saying? They can play multiple instruments. It can be someone like a Stevie Wonder or a Michael Jackson or someone of that nature. And I'm not even going to take away from his musical skills and abilities. However, I'm clear that too much weight, what your man say, too much weight for one brain to take. You know what I'm saying? He has too much on that under his scalp. And he's confused because of the fact that he's been separated from reality. And when you're taken out of your natural environment, you're bound to go bonkers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said about the lion, you have a lion inside of a circus jumping through hoops.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can't in the wild. I wish you would try to tame a lion. You know what I'm saying? But it becomes that, and then eventually he snaps, and that's where I think Kanye is today.
And I think you're right on point when you gave us that very wholesome definition of an example, not definition, but example of what genius actually is. When you look at the body of work and you go get raw footage of Stevie Wonder playing the drums, that's genius. When you see everything that Prince has done, LT, that's genius. This corny little dude on the documentary putting together beats, bro, that's not genius. There's dudes in the hood right now that'll run circles around this dude. You understand what I'm saying? That little thing with the music thing, no, that's not genius to me. You understand what I'm saying? But I think it was Maya Angelou that said when people tell you who they are, believe they asked the first time, right or wrong.
Right.
This is who Kanye West told us he was. George Bush don't care about black people. Now, who is that, the genius or the bipolar dude saying that? Which one is that? Is he off the meds or he on the meds when he's talking like that? The MAGA hat wearing dude, is that the bipolar one or the genius one? Is that the dude that's off the meds or on the meds? Who are we looking at when we see this dude hugging Donald Trump? Just a couple of more. The dude that took and went to the thrift shop and bought some damn Confederate flags and stuck them on his Yeezy tour wear that he was selling on tour. So now he's part of the Confederate kind of mindset now.
Right.
Is that the bipolar one or the genius that's doing that? How genius is that? How about slavery was a choice? Is that the one that's on his meds, or his meds ran out, or he didn't get the prescription filled? Which one is that? I want to know if that's the genius one, because if we gotta go by those standards for young people, we need to redefine what genius actually is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which one was the one that went and bagged a soft porno star and married her? Talk to me. Is that the genius one? Or was that a genius move? Or talk to me. Help me out. I know you're saying Griff is really raw. I know I'm not. I'm being tamed tonight. But talk to me though. Which one is that? And how much mental health experts got to get together to discuss something that we in the Black community have been seeing for a long time, when we see these individuals that we've supported come up in our ranks, turn around, snuggle up next to the oppressor now, and then turn around and always has something negative to say about Black people. That's not genius to me. That's not even bipolar. That's sick as hell.
So I'm going to ask again then, if the ringmaster, the lion, the lion is probably far removed from the ringmaster, right? The lion has his tamer, his trainer. And this lion is having to perform and act within these 3-ring circus. How much of that behavior is of his own volition, and how much of that behavior is to stay alive? Because this is the script. That's where I keep saying, where we have to take this deeper. I feel like we can't be like conspiracy theorists on one hand and understand that the industry takes the quote talent. I don't care. You can call it genius, whatever you want. He's talented. Taking our talent, right? Capitalizing on our talent, and then keeping the ones that are the most, I'm going to make up a word, puppetable.
It's a good word.
Because Kalonji, look, I brought this up to Professor Griff. How is it that Fox News brought him on? Where is the story on Fox News? Go to foxnews.com right now. The story is nowhere there, but CNN, the left picked it up. Now he's anti-Semitic. Fox News aired the story, got out of Dodge.
Right. But
we can't say that we're controlled, but then go, oh, look at this dude acting a fool. You know?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and you're right, and I agree with the fact. I mean, it's not. The thing is, it's not it's not as simple as it appears.
Right.
You know, again, in my thoughts are, this dude is on a crash course, and I think that unfortunately, what the state has traditionally done, they will use you until they can't use you anymore. They'll use you up, right? And I think that they'll get you at your height. And I think that we look back at people like Whitney Houston, right? We look at folks like Michael. We look at folks like Prince.
Yes.
You know, it's easy to sprinkle drugs on someone and say that, you know, well, they died from an overdose. Right now, if something happened to Kanye tomorrow, no one would be surprised. They say, oh man, see, he was bugging or whatever, you know, man, they should have helped that brother, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I think that he is on a serious tightrope. I'm not going to go, I'm not running around just calling people crazy, because that's not, thinking outside the box is considered crazy in an insane world like we live in right now. But I am going to say he's in treading in dangerous waters. And I do believe that there is a level of control, but there's also a level of resentment. There's a level of curiosity. There's a level of, confusion because of the fact that he's walking around and he's a quote unquote billionaire. The thing about Black folks in particular here in the United States, the more money you get, the shorter your tongue becomes, the shorter your tongue gets, because you can't speak like we're speaking right now if you're a billionaire, because you'll be under scrutiny. Everything he says is going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So the more money you have, the less power you have. As Server and I was talking the other day, money is not power. Self-determination is power. Money just means that you can buy more shinier shit than the next man, but you can't get up and say what you want to say. I mean, shit. Look at Griff and Nick Cannon. Griff got on there with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon thought he was Griff. and they slapped the shit. So they couldn't do nothing with Griff. They like, man, he ain't gonna listen. He hard headed. He can't. His group can't control him. You understand what I'm saying? But with Nick Cannon like, okay, well, shit, yeah, you right, Griff, so on and so forth. And Griff might have been right.
Yeah.
But the powers that be, quote unquote, snatch Nick little ass and say, look, you like this over here? Keep dancing for white folks, have your babies and shut the fuck up, or you'll be touring around with some of us.
And say you sorry at that.
Yes.
Apologize.
Yes. And he looked like he's about to cry. I don't even know Griff like that. You know what I'm saying? He like shit. He like, I don't even know that was me on there interviewing him. Griff who? But that's just the reality. So Kanye, imagine Kanye who thinks that he's thinking and who's confused because of the fact that when his madness comes along, you have all these Negroes talking about he's a genius. Okay. And that's not a diss to us as a people because of the fact that we respect talent, because we're the most talented people on the planet. We have the resource. We are the value. We are the commodity, unfortunately, but we're still powerless.
That comment I made by he's sick, I don't want to leave that out there for people to misconstrue that. If we're talking about helping our people heal, then we have to point out what other people are trying to normalize. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that again. If people are trying to normalize this behavior and look at this behavior and normalize it as though that's just how rich Black guys act, that claim that they have this free thinking kind of mode that they're in. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what some of the things that they say. This is what some of the things that they say and do. Somebody sent me a message and said, did the comment that he made about Jewish people offend me? First of all, I said, well, who is this? Because you definitely don't sound Black asking me something like that. I said, well, it should have offended anyone. You said you're sleepy, but then you're going to wake up and go DEFCON on somebody? It's like, should that offend anyone? Yeah, it should offend whoever he said it against. Do you understand what I'm saying? But can I ask you a question? If you're Black, did it offend you when he did all of these other things? And if so, why did they leave it up long enough for him to get, I don't know, 40, 50, 60? Because they said they took it right down. But the numbers on the comments were growing in his favor. Right. They weren't on there condemning it. They were on there like, well, that's good for free speech, man. Don't let nobody cancel you. Yada, 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 whoopty whoop, rah, 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 rah. And it's like, wow, bruh. You understand what I'm saying? Growing up, especially in the music industry, we always used to say, you need that one dude. You know how you have the one dude, the one white dude in every Black community? Mm-hmm. Is that one white dude that's always hanging out with the Black people?
White Mike.
White Mike, right. You need...
Shout out to White Mike.
Shout out to White Mike.
You need that one Mick that's going to keep it real with you.
Right.
You take him on tour with you. You keep him right next to you because he's the one that's going to tell you straight up when your shit stink. You know, he'd be like, look, straight up, bro, come on, man. We don't even do that. He's the one that's going to tell you, oh, yo, shorty cool, man, but She fine, but how old is she though, ma? She look like about, hold on for a second. Yo, ma, come here for a minute. What's good? How old are you? Like, let me see some ideas, some shit. You understand? That dude, you need him with you. Someone gonna keep everything in check. Now, he might eat pork. He might drink. He might smoke a couple of things. He might hit a couple of fat white chicks, but don't worry about that. You need him.
Griff, you sound like you experienced on this track, man. He going kind of hard with it. Like,
don't get me started, Kalonji. Because you need that dude with you that's gonna keep everything straight and real with you. A lot of these cats, these multimillionaires, nah, come on. But in Kalonji, not Kalonji, both of y'all, we spit in the face of the Pete Rocks when we call Kanye West a genius. We spit in the face of Dre. We spit in the face Quincy Jones. Well, I don't mind his face. Well, we spit in the face of all of these producers that have produced music that have raised generations of people.
Right.
To turn around and negate the fact that they gave us that, and you call this knucklehead a genius when it comes to music, man, stop that, for real. But we got a clip to play.
No doubt.
We're going to play this clip for y'all. Let's see what y'all think about this, and we'll dialogue on the flip side of this.
No doubt. Stay tuned. You got me on the boards, so you know how that do. You know what we do around here. Ain't no telling.
This is entitled Footnotes for Kanye.
Can we see what's going on over here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look hungry. Like that girl don't make you no fried chicken or macaroni and cheese. Like she don't fill you on the inside. Like you haven't had a home-cooked meal since your mama died. You look like you lost the psalm in your own song. Like you want to talk to God, but you're afraid because y'all ain't spoken so long. Do you tell your daughter about me? How we were bittersweet, to never mess with entertainers because they always leave. That he'll get on and he'll leave your ass for a white girl. And he'll give her your style, your language, your waist, damn near try to give her your face. And somewhere in his post-traumatic twisted fantasy, he'll make it all okay. But what's the worth in loving a man who's lost his smile anyway? When Kim fucks up the lyrics to the college dropout like them white folks used to fuck up your name, do you pretend? Y'all don't even have to say anything. Let's just do this real quick, okay? When Kim fucks up the lyrics to the college dropout like them white folks used to fuck up your name, do you pretend not to notice? Do you regret the Marilyn Monroe and your decision and wish you could have taken Billie Holiday as your bride? Do you ever want to run back to your wedding day and have it all over on the South Side? Do you wake up in the middle of the night and just think that she wasn't the right girl? Like you should have found one of them I like art type girls. Can you hear all the black kids calling your name, wondering why the boy who rapped about his mama getting arrested for the sit-ins didn't sit in? Why he traded in his Nat Turner for Ralph Lauren? Do you know how many kids at the protest had your sneakers on? None of them. Do you know how many of your songs were played at the protest? All of them. Could you hear all of the lights, the flashing lights, the new slaves, the runaways on their road to redemption, waiting for Malcolm West to have the whole world at attention? Nigga, they got you quiet. Like, how come only at award shows he riots? Maybe Jesus was all talk. Jesus never needed Adidas to walk. Maybe Jesus was all talk. Jesus never needed Adidas to walk. Why is he outlining sneakers when the South Side is outlined in chalk? Can someone go and find the man who could make a diamond with his own bare hands? We are looking for you because these kids still want to be just like you. They want to rap and make soul beats just like you, even though you just not you. Even though you traded in your spaceship to buy back your 40 acres and a mule, even though you traded in your spaceship to buy back your 40 acres and a mule, purchased the plantation and master's daughters too. Nigga, why you got these white folks claiming you? Like they built you, like they made you, like they polished you, like they ready them a good nigga for the picking, like they got you for sale. Oh, how they love Kanye. Let's put them all in front of the store. Like you there, black boy. You forgot you black boy. They got you lost in this world. You getting blackmailed for that white girl. You don't see how your lies is affecting me. You don't see how our lives are supposed to be. And I never let a nigga get that close to me. And you ain't cracked up to what you were supposed to be. I guess it's bittersweet poetry.
I'm gonna say this.
Uh-oh.
Can I say something? Or do you need it?
Yeah.
I started Mental Speak. One thing that how I met the founder of Urban Intellectuals, shout out to Freddie Taylor, was because when I would come on the platform, I would always have some kind of out of the box, coming at it from a different angle kind of perspective. And so when I started my platform, I said, I am going to make sure that any angle that I come with on a topic, that I'm not going to sound or analyze something the way that everybody else does it, right? And the most frustrating thing for me was, as I started to do my wake up, I would be over here like everybody else saying, look at the system, look at what it's doing, look at, the food is Soylent Green, the media is controlling us. I sounded insane. I go back and I listen to my own videos. I sounded crazy. And I hear this person from his perspective. I haven't seen the shit Kanye's seen. I have no clue what he has seen. He lived with a coven of witches. Who knows what that fool has seen, right? Breeding his black babies. That's what they do. And so I'm saying this is that where we have to be careful is he is going to be put in the center public square, tied up, master whipping his back, and everybody standing around going, that's what you get. I told your ass, don't be fucking with master, right? Like, no, I'm the person going, but he sound crazy, but maybe he's saying something. Like, maybe if we shut the fuck up and listen, maybe we have to dig through it. And this is what I do as a therapist. Like, maybe I have to listen to the psychosis a little bit, but there's truth in it. And maybe we're not hearing what we need to hear, and he's trying to tell us something. Is it difficult to decipher from a White Lives Matter shirt? Because I just see it. If I just look at the White Lives Matter shirt, ooh, buddy, yeah, that's rough. But can I break it down, and maybe you trying to tell me something in a subtle, subconscious way? And I got to figure it out. Can
like
we?
LT. The shirt spoke volumes. It was a picture.
Support of Trump.
Picture is worth 1,000 words.
And that part, that's where I say, okay, so for us in our wise mind, we getting on the other side and we're like, okay, when his hair was dyed, my research told me that when they blonde your hair as a black man, you're kept, right? You've been pimped out. He had him on next to him like a little ventriloquist doll, right? Sitting on his lap, puppeted. I saw it clearly. So if we can't look at the symbols and the signs, which is psychology is telling us that everything is a symbol. When you go back to his power video, that was very much his initiation video, right? And from then on, any consciousness that he had, which I want to talk about the lyrics in a moment, but if we see that the dude has been puppeted, whatever comes out of his mouth, can we see which is Ye talking and which is his handlers talking or making him say. Can we get a little closer? Is my point.
But can Tay, Twan, Peanut, and Man them decipher all of that? No,
they can't. That's why we're here.
We can.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
But
we're talking to intelligent people. You know?
Yeah, I hear you and I respect what you're saying.
Yeah.
But fuck that.
That's what we said was. Hey,
I mean,
the broadcast would have been over 25 minutes ago, Kalonji.
yeah. So I'm saying, man, it's like and shout out to all the folks that's checking us out right now. This right here, this is the precursor to ATM, another podcast that we'll be launching, and we'll be rocking this. It'll be on another platform, but it's called Arm the Masses. So we wanted to introduce you all today on Riot Starter for one. However, going back to my good sister LT, who's a therapist, so I respect what it is she's saying. Right. However, as a social scientist, as a freedom fighter out here, with all the things that's going on the planet right now, bullets are flying over our head, and Kanye talking about slavery is a choice. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, literally, we have 2.5 million people locked up here in the U.S. 70% of the U.S. prisoners happen to be Black folks. We're 14% of the U.S. population, yet we have those numbers reflect what's going on. Here in the U.S. also, we're talking about the United States is 25% of the world, 5% of the world population, and it's holds 25% of the prisoners in the world. Kanye, let's say if what you're saying is correct, and let's say that he's trying to tell us something. I don't know what exactly he's trying to tell us, and I'm not sure he knows what he's trying to tell us because it's so mumbled, right? Yeah. It's so much shit. You can't on one end talk about, I'm going to sell these shirts with the Confederate flag on it and the jackets with the big ass Confederate flag on it. Then I'm going to be a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the whole slave thing, and now the whole thing around White Lives Matter. We have to be clear that there is something wrong here. I think that what we do, one of the mistakes we make as Black folks is that we confuse confusion with brilliance, because that's what confusion is here to do. It's here to confuse, right? So we'll look at a situation in our minds. Nah, it's deeper than that. What we sound like when we do that is like when we smoke weed. Sometimes if you, I'm not saying that you smoke, but you smoke some weed and all of a sudden you dissecting shit that don't make sense. See, this look like a pen top, but check out how they made this shit right here. Do you see how it's made?
Nigga, all this shit.
Yeah, it's like, that's bullshit. It's like, this guy right here is on a mission that will be self-destructive. It is absolutely a self-destructive mission. And unfortunately, we will self-destruct along with him if we follow him down this damn rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thought. I mean, you're a therapist, you come from a different angle.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, you're right. But to that point, then would that not be an agenda to dangle him, to take people down a rabbit hole? But we can be a form of gatekeepers, the intellectuals, those of us who are able to, who can decipher it, who can pull out and extract some deeper meanings and correlate it with symbolism and things like that. I mean, I do that in my own time, and then I do my best to present it to people in a simplified package that they can digest. But you and I know everybody doesn't want that. Like you said, there's plenty of problems on this planet that need attention, which lets us know it's a weapon of mass distraction, right? It's October. What do we get in October? October surprise. Elections coming next month. So they dangle over here. We all go over here and do a little civil war while they do their bullshit over here. So I'm with you. I definitely agree. We don't want to get caught up in the madness of someone who seemingly on one side is conscious, but then on the other side is, you know.
That's the job of the entertainer, though. I think
Yeah.
that's absolutely the job of the entertainer. And I think in the past, you know, a few slipped through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? And we'll say Public Enemy. We'll start with Public Enemy, right? Because we can recall that you know, back in the day, you know, folks is driving down the street, you know, drug dealers, you know, cats on the street, the whole nine, bumping Public Enemy, right? Yeah. I'm gonna keep it funky. My younger brother, who's an ancestor right now, he introduced me to Public Enemy. I'm not gonna front. The first album, I hated that shit. I'm like, what is this garbage? What is this? My Uzi weighs a ton. Public Enemy #1. I wasn't feeling it. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, because
Like
Griff on the
honesty.
joint.
Watch
Yeah.
your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Yeah, I'm saying. But it took the second album for me to. I didn't like it because my brother was playing that shit all the time, and I wasn't really listening to the lyrics, and I wasn't really feeling Chuck's voice, and the beat itself was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was a different sound. But when the second album came out, it made me go back and check out the first album. I'm like, damn, my brother was on to some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my point is, during that particular era, with the quote unquote consciousness, we had the opportunity to check out X-Clan, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, you know what I'm saying, Lakim Shabazz, so on and so forth.
Poor Righteous Teachers.
That era, Poor Righteous Teachers, no doubt. That era is no more.
Yeah.
So with that, a lot of those artists got flipped. We forget that Queen Latifah was a part of that program.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to Queen Latifah, but she ain't the Queen Latifah that she came in the game with. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Griff, didn't you manage her sometime? 120?
Yeah, one brief moment I managed it. Yeah,
just a little tidbit for
and I was shopping Naughty by Nature's material to record companies trying to get them a deal, and a few other artists I kind of looked out for like that. Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, but my point in saying that though, LT, and bringing all that up is that, you know, a lot of times we confuse the entertainer with the freedom fighter. Now, there's entertainers that happen to be freedom fighters, but when you're talking about that industry, it's a different program. It is a manufacturing center. It is a manufacturing center for propaganda and confusion. You know what I mean? So they need certain people to come out to make you think this is the road to travel. You know what I'm saying? We think about it. Kanye produced some of Dead President's first shit. It's bigger than hip hop. He produced that joint. You know what I'm saying? Produced stuff for Talib Kweli and so many others, Black Thought. But somewhere along the line, insanity and the quote unquote genius, the line began to blur. And when you're not strong mentally, when you're not on point, and like what Griff was saying earlier, if you don't have the right people on your team to keep you in check, then you could be used as a tool.
Absolutely.
And that's what's that's what I believe is happening right now.
And we spit in the face of someone else just came to mind when you said that, of a brother like Teddy Riley. When you talk about having hits,
right?
Ooh, Teddy Riley got a whole damn sound named after him. He created a whole damn sound. You want to talk about genius?
Yep.
Come on, man. But you don't give Teddy Riley genius status, so he's not in that category. He's not. Come on, man. Stop that.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And he did it. I mean, he from Dougie Fresh to Keith Sweat and all kinds of other folks in between. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, Professor, I wanted to ask you this question. As far as the moment that someone is penning their lyrics, drawn from their consciousness, drawn from the ether, wherever you're inspired, can we look at that moment in time and determine someone's level of consciousness based on what they were writing?
No,
at
because
that time.
look how many people wrote conscious stuff but acted contrary. We can't say that, and we can't be so narrow-minded as to say, because I wear amethyst crystal around my neck. I'm conscious. This is not.
Right.
I may be weird amethyst crystal. That's what that is.
Like just like rocks.
I eat at the vegan restaurant over here, and I eat couscous, and I drink spring water. That don't mean I'm conscious.
Right.
Yeah, I wear a dashiki, and I got ashy ankles, and I'm wearing sandals. That don't make you conscious, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I go to the so-and-so. I only use vegan toothpicks and napkins. I got vegan laundry detergent shit. That don't make you conscious.
Right.
Because you pin some lyrics on a couple of songs, we give you genius status, and you're conscious?
Yeah.
Well, I want it. Okay, so these are lyrics from New Slave. Okay.
Okay. New Slave by Kanye West, right?
New Slaves by Kanye West. Okay.
I never heard this, so I'm definitely
You never
I
heard?
appreciate
You
saying
never heard New Slaves? Okay.
I was still old slaves. I was trying to get up
How
out
much?
of this.
Let me see where I wanted to start. Probably. So they throwing hate at me, want me to stay at ease. Fuck you and your corporation. Y'all niggas can't control me. I know that we the new slaves. I'm about to wild the F out. I'm going Bobby Boucher. I'm skipping down. Y'all can't fuck with Ye. I moved my family out the country so you can't see where I stay. Go and grab the reporters so I can smash the recorders so they confuse us with some bullshit like the New World Order. Meanwhile, the DEA teamed up with the CCA. They trying to lock niggas up. They trying to make new slaves. See, that's that privately owned prison. Get your piece today. They probably all in the Hamptons bragging about what they made. And I mean, and then he repeats in the song, you know, I know that we're the new slaves. I see the blood on the leaves. I know that we're the new slaves. So that was from Yeezus. And when he first dropped that song, I was like, dang, this dude like telling, you know, like he telling that this is, you know, a new form of slavery, which we know slavery just changed form, right? So, I mean, so when I look at those lyrics, you're saying that I cannot mark a point in time where this is this person's level of consciousness and what they see. So I cannot consider Kanye conscious based on.
Can I jump in this real quick for
Please,
you?
please.
I'm again, and I'm not picking on Public Enemy because it's one of my favorite hip hop groups. But if we're gonna quote lyrics, I know a gentleman that said, "Motherfuck him and John Wayne," or "Get up, get down. 911 is a joke in your town."
Okay.
He went from that to foofy.
Damn.
Fucking with Sylvester Stallone's troglodyte giant. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he was all up in. I mean, we got the Minister of Information on the screen with us right now, teaching with us. And I mean, shit, if Flavor Flav can, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could being conscious is one thing, right? And we throw these terms around, conscious and woke and all that type shit. It's like, what are you doing with that? You understand what I'm saying? What are you, you know, it's the mind behind the gun. You know what I'm saying? So what you can write some consciously. We know the government's fucking us over. I can take you to any hood USA and they could tell you how fucked up the government is. In fact, I hung out in LA one time. I'm 2:00 in the morning with some folks with some young bloods, literally like they 27 years old. They in the car and we just talking and we building. They talking about everything from ancient Kemet to revolution. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm not judging them based on, you know, on their family or organization, any of that type shit, but being conscious and understanding right now at this stage in the game, we're in the era of YouTube, all kinds of shit going on. Plus, Kanye's from the Chi. There's all types of politics going on. Chicago is the most structured city in America, possibly the world, when it comes to, you know, how things move, how that machine moves. But I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't get caught into what someone says. What they say and what they do is something else. Tahir, in one of his rhymes, shout out to my man Tahir RBG. One of his joints, he said, real life is one thing, internet's another. Kanye's lyrics is akin to us going on Facebook and you see some of these cats with red, black, and green drawers on, and they black powered and they RBG and so on and so forth. They ain't study shit. They ain't a part of no organization. All they do is criticize everyone else. Before we got on the joint here today, this cat, I read something where dude was talking about some, you know what I'm saying, called me an agent. Now, I ain't never heard of this nigga before in my life, part of my English. You understand what I'm saying? He has no affiliations with nothing. But he said, because of the fact that I spoke, and I'm not veering off, because of the fact that I said something about someone speaking against someone disrespecting someone's child, they took that as me siding with the person whose child was being disrespected. I said I'm against anybody that's disrespecting children, anybody that wishes violence on anyone's child. That don't mean I'm siding with Joe Blow or whoever. It's just simply stating my case. So from that point on, it made me a traitor.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we get confused with what's Memorex and what's reality. So we don't want to do that, and that's why I'm glad we're here. We got to arm the masses, LT.
I think that so my armament, if you will, what I've learned in the work that I've done with urban intellectuals and then collaborating with Professor Griff, and my concern is the psychological implications of allowing the masses to pile up on one Black man, because I do understand symbolism. I do understand. I have a master's in social work and a master's in social psychology, and so I understand the implications of what a single symbol does once you amplify that out. And Kanye becomes the social punching bag. He like George Floyd. It only took one scene, right? And then you fill in the blank with whatever name, all the way going back, Malcolm, everybody who is put on front and center and punished in front of the masses. That's all they have to do now. And so I think where my pushback comes in, and for anybody who want to be like, she an apologist, and it's not even about specifically Kanye himself. It's what the implications are if somebody doesn't say, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this to us. You're not going to take one and make him the representation, because then I know what it even looks like in the classroom, the way they treat little Black boys. He's acting up. Get him in line. And that's what's happening right now. And that's all I want to make sure that we take perspective of as his community. No, we're not condoning the things that he says, or and even if it is a matter of his mental health, which is what we're needing to get into, we're needing to remove the stigma from mental health. So somebody who is diagnosed with bipolar doesn't just get called crazy and shut down. That's a human being who has a voice, right? But and I'll make this last point, just really, we have to think about, we may not agree with what he does, but we do have to be careful about the optics of one Black man being able to be beat down even by his own in front of the world.
Right. And I unite with what you're saying around the concern, the care, and the empathy, right? But we have to be careful with our pronouns.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Kanye is not we. You understand what I'm saying? And he's not a part of our community. Being Black, is Imam Jamil Alameen, H. Rap Brown would say, being Black is necessary, but it ain't sufficient. See, the thing is, you can't just be willing to dance with the devil and then get mad because you got burnt. You understand what I'm saying? Because he knew, he was smart enough to know coming in the game. He didn't come from some broken home. He didn't come from some situation where he had no knowledge, no information, so on and so forth. He was clear about what it is he was doing. He was clear about the people that he ran with initially, but he contradicted it because of the fact that he decided to sell himself to the highest bidder, as Griff was talking about in the beginning. So I understand what you're saying from that what you're talking about. Unfortunately, we're not, let the record reflect, we're not here to bomb on Kanye. This is a bigger issue. Right? This is, we're never just dealing with the individual. This is systemic, right? So my point in saying that is that we have to be careful, because the same way that we dealing with Kanye, or we could possibly deal with Kanye, is the same reason we're in the condition that we're in right now, because we've given so many passes, and we say, well, maybe he didn't know. Well, he lost his mom. He ended up with a white girl instead. In the song he said, he was going to stick with his black girl. So yeah, he made some mistakes or whatever. I get that. I'm cool with all that. I unite with that. But at the same time, all the shit he does and has done to represent global white supremacy has to be taken into account. And if we don't, we'll keep on forgiving him until we're dead and gone. Because again, he'll lead us in the wrong direction. Now, is his handlers misleading him? I don't know. Because of the fact that I don't know who told him to put no Confederate flag on his jacket. I don't know who told him to put White Lives Matter on his shirt. I don't know who told him to back Trump. You understand what I'm saying? But he went from Bush don't care about us to White Lives Matter. So somewhere along the line, if he wanted to act like that it was a mental thing, there's so many other directions he could have gone in. You understand what I'm saying? But why choose this particular angle? Why choose racism, white supremacy? And why hook up with someone like Candace Owens? He didn't get with, just anybody. So we got to take that into consideration as well.
I think my last point, as we wrap this up, it was Kanye West, LT, that said, I sold my soul to the devil. I know that's a crappy deal. At least it comes with a few toys and a Happy Meal. So when you start quoting Kanye West lyrics, we tend to forget that the lyrics that you quoted was juxtaposed to this one, and which one carries more weights.
And that's
when you put the volume down on the picture is still the picture. Yeah. White lives matter. Shout out to Mos Def, because Mos Def took the V out. He said white lives matter. It's more appropriate. White lies matter. You understand what I'm saying? And that's very real. So I guess I'm gonna be the first one to step up to the plate as we close this out with my quote for the evening. And I think it was Frantz Fanon who said it best. Frantz Fanon said each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. Plain and simple. Each generation must, out of relative obscurity, you don't know who that next individual is going to be. You understand what I'm saying? Out of relative obscurity, you either discover your mission, fulfill it, or you betray it. Nonetheless, you have a mission. Nonetheless, you have that thing that the Creator deposited in you for you to become. All right? Kanye West chose to become the person that he is. And billionaires often have the money to seek help, man. You don't find too many billionaires drowning and someone not throwing them a life raft. It's whether you choose to grab the life raft to save your own life. That's my quote.
Yeah. I'm a Steve Biko. If one is free at heart, no man-made chains can bind one to servitude. But if one's mind is so manipulated and controlled by the oppressor, then there will be nothing the oppressed can do to scare his powerful masters. I think that's pretty fitting for
exactly
the mind of Kanye.
Last but not least, the riot starter.
Hey man, I'm gonna go out with a Malcolm quote, and I'm gonna say, and I would say that I'm the man you think you are. If you want to know what I'll do, think about what you'll do, and I'll do the same, only more of it. This is where we have to take our. This is where our position has to be. We have to approach all of this from a revolutionary mindset, because of the fact that everything is political. Yeah. The way we walk, the way we talk, the way we rap, the way we sit, the clothes we wear, the language we're speaking right now is a result of political violence, right? And I think that we have to understand that even And I know some folks are watching this because it's not your typical quote unquote riot starter. And I saw someone in the chat like, well, why are they talking about him? It's important because of the fact that these are things that are going on inside of our community. If it's going inside of our community, it's the propaganda that's being pumped into our minds, into our babies' minds. So we have to be able to combat it, right? So I say that, even when you look at a Kanye, it's not as simplistic as it may seem. It's not just him crazy. It's not just him running around moving with white folks. Now he's changed the tune. Now all of a sudden he's talking about, what the Jews are and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got the Cat Van Lathan. Now all of a sudden he's talking about when dude was on TMZ one time, he was talking about he's pro-Hitler and all kinds of other stuff. So it is definitely becoming a witch hunt because it is easy right now. Mm-hmm. I believe that Kanye has pissed some people off. And some of those folks will include us. But my concern is that this particular brother, and I'm saying that for my good sister LT over here, this particular brother right here is in danger. It's code red for him because, like I said, at any given moment, anything that happens to him will be a result of him just being, out of control or out of his mind. And like I said, someone's going to benefit from that catalog.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We already know, we've seen it time and time again. When these artists leave, their catalog's up for grab and they're worth way more than they are when they're alive. So our hopes is that someone's able to step in and get this man on the right side of the barricades, because right now he is a tool that is being used against us, and we can't allow this self-destructive individual to be our main focal point. But we can point out the fact that that it is a problem. I want to also say to you all, this is Arm the Masses. We will be rocking. When is the first official show? We just wanted to do a little startup today. When are we kicking this off?
I think we said we're going to come on every other week, so I think we have to talk about when the first official show is going to be. I'd say kick it off either before the spooky holiday. You understand? Before people start getting candy and Halloween costumes and dressing up as
Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos.
Exactly. Or do it right smack dab in the middle of it before the turkey leg day. I mean, we had the Indigenous Peoples Day, and I didn't see anything from anyone. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We should have kicked it off then to let our Native American brothers and sisters know that we're still in solidarity with those of y'all that haven't went to the other side. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to find a very special day to kind of kick this Arm the Masses thing off for real. Because this is about arming people with information. We don't want people to think that we're arming the masses. We don't have that kind of infrastructure. We don't have that kind of thing kind of set up. And it's funny that we should mention that simply because neither does Kanye. When you talk about going DEFCON 3 on somebody, you don't have that infrastructure to do that.
No.
And you spelled DEFCON wrong. You understand what I'm saying? You're talking about violence against a whole group of people. How you going to pull that off, bro? You understand what I'm saying? At the same time, you're saying them group of people are part of us and we're part of them because all of us, got the capital letter J in our name. It's like, come on, bro. You sound confusing, man.
Right.
So there's people out there like LT that can help you. You can lay on the couch. Somebody could take some notes. You can reach out to some people. You can't really reach out to anybody because you've surrounded yourself with soulless people that have no soul. Their soul is green. That's it. You've disassociated yourself with anyone real. You understand what I'm saying? Your dad has turned into Uncle Ruckus. I don't even know your dad, but I'm just saying from the advice that he gave you, that sounds like some Uncle Ruckus advice, man. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be very real, not only with the conversation that we're dealing with, what we're dealing with, how we present it. Shit, at the end of the day, I got to sleep tonight. I got to be honest with Griff. And I got to be real with Griff. You understand what I'm saying? I was never a Kanye West fan. I may dug a few little songs. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, dude, I'm not. Like, nah.
So we're not gonna see the
Jesus jogged, Jesus walked. I don't give a rat's ass. If you anyway, what you saying, Kalonji?
So we're not gonna get the Griff Kanye mashup.
Collab.
It's not gonna happen. We're
No
not gonna
collab.
It's not gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen. The reason why I say that, I have a son, and I'm not gonna mention my son's name. He was a Kanye West fan, and me and him used to talk all the time. And I'm like, son, you got to look deeper into that. It's not what you think. Now, this is in the middle of me putting together psychological covert war on hip hop. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, son, look what I found out. Look what I'm looking at. Yada, yada, yada. Whoop, whoop. You understand what I'm saying?
And I know you're talking about my man, too. I know exactly which son you're talking about.
So I'm hipping them to what's going on and what's about to be revealed and who they going to choose to kind of put their arm around and protect because they're grooming him to be that dude.
Yeah.
And them people with the capital J's, they was telling me a long time ago, oh, he's going to run for office. I said, you out your rabbit ass mind. They said, watch and see. Now I'm getting this right from them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? For those of y'all that think some of them are not my friends. You understand what I'm saying? I'm getting it right from them. He's gonna run for office. Sure enough, he's running for office. Now you're gonna have a conversation with Puffy. An open conversation on Twitter with Puffy about who's controlling what. And you're going to say you're kind of tired, but you're going to sleep, and when you wake up, you're going to go DEFCON 3 on the J's? Come on, man. Stop that, bro. Something is wrong there. DEFCON 3, he said.
3. DEFCON 3.
I thought he might have meant Def Jam.
That's not, he didn't say Def Jam 3.
Yeah.
But the DEFCON 3 is not even the highest level you can go. I think it's 5 or 6. Bro, you operating in the middle somewhere, man. But you're saying that against the same people that's signing your paycheck. Can I ask you something, Kanye West, while I look in the camera? Who the fuck do you think Nike is? Who's Adidas? Who's all these people that you align yourself with? Do you know who these people really are?
Right.
I'm starting to think this fool just he don't have he ain't got nothing to lose at this point. From what Kalonji's saying, right? If this is it, just
let me tell you something.
Go out on your sword, man. Just throw it all out.
There's a transit system in Atlanta called MARTA. When you see that motherfucker on the back of the MARTA, moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta, that's what MARTA means. You understand what I'm saying? Then you'll know what he has to lose.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you have to gain by wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt? Anyway.
That's a good question. And that's where we are right now.
All right.
See, you know what? And even at the end of the day, LT was trying to give him out. She's trying to give him a pass.
Trying to give him out. I'm trying.
Her final analysis was land on, throw yourself on the sword. See,
just gonna throw yourself on the sword, brother. But and you know, and it's another thing too. Just overall, what we said, we're looking. This is about healing in it. So,
right.
So then let's look at our brother and what exchanging your talent for whatever you saw was glory or shiny on the other side, exchanging your talent with people who you don't understand. You don't know their history. You don't know what they're about. Knowledge of self is everything. Knowledge of self and
keeping your
mind right.
You think he should pause and just press the pause button? And don't think I'm that other dude when I say this. But if we're truly talking about healing, on a human level, press the pause button. Apologize to Black women. Apologize to your people for disrespecting us. You understand what I'm saying? And if you have to make sure your finances stay, where they are and intact, have a meeting with them people, talk to them, do whatever it is that you have to do. But don't you ever come before Black people and disrespect us. You understand what I'm saying? After doing that, because we're forgiving people. And when people do us wrong and go out there and side with them other people against us, we still to some degree embrace them. We're not sure whether or not we're going to embrace you. But at least if you press the pause button to save your life, Go get some help. Apologize to our people. Go talk to them people, man, because right now, you talking about going DEFCON on them. What do you think they planning? And Kalonji said it. What do you think they planning? Them people don't play. You understand? Who the fuck y'all think Maya Lansky and all these other fucking gangsters were? They weren't Italians, right or wrong?
Man, who you think Lear Cohen is? I mean, Lear Cohen, yeah.
Leor?
Yeah.
So come on, y'all stop the playing. Man. So LT, if we're talking about healing, if we throwing you the life raft, where this was light for me and Kalonji, if we're throwing you the life raft and we're extending our hand, at least grab the hand, bro, so we can pull you out of deep water, dry you off, and be like, look, bro, press the pause button. You know, stop with the genius thing, because you're not. You understand what I'm saying? Come on down, get centered, all right, and continue your life. At least you'll stay alive. You may not be a billionaire anymore. You understand what I'm saying? You may get a deal with Fila. What's Fila? Sneakers or somebody. It may not be Nike, Puma, or somebody or fucking, I don't know.
Might get a show on Black Power Media. Who knows?
Champion at Target.
Skippies or somebody, I don't know what the fuck, but I'm just saying, at least you'll be alive. Yeah. That's my pick. All right.
No doubt. Anyway, you've been checking out Professor Griff, LT in the building, and Kalonji Changa. We're looking forward to bringing you more ATM Arm the Masses. This was a special edition on Riot Starter TV. Let us know in the chat what you think about it. You know, if we can pull this thing off a little bit more regular. I think we needed some balance because, as you know, Griff and I would have got banned on the first show. So luckily LT came in to save the day. She like, don't cut his head off yet.
Hey, the episode would have been over 5 minutes in. Y'all,
we already know it, so it is what it is. But definitely, we appreciate you all checking us out on this this piece right here, and we're looking forward to rocking with y'all again. Stay tuned.
All right, peace.
We out.
Thank you.